All right, so you just finished your last pre-test, this one on writing, that your computer should be closed. This is the video that will review the expectations for the poster assignment, which will be a contest, which I'll explain later. In a minute, you'll have a chance to talk with your partner, and you will locate your literature terms. This was an orange sheet, and you added those definitions for all of these, okay? All right, so in a minute, we're going to hand out the poster terms requirements. You can use this to brainstorm, and there's a picture on the side to give you an example from some students from the past. These are the requirements. There are 4 requirements. So the first thing, of course, you need is a literature term. And that should be, for example, this one, they cut out different pictures to create that imagery, okay? Then they have the definition underneath, and you should use that definition from that literature terms sheet that you already have. All right, the next requirement is to quote an example, and you can find an example from a favorite book or a movie. You can, locate the book or do a Google search to find something, okay? So in this example we're sharing from the previous students, they're introducing a quote from the book The Hunger Games, and then they include a quote to what they're saying is a visual image of Prim's cat, okay? And then they have to explain the quote, and they're saying that this is a great image of what the cat looks like, okay? So we can think about this in a couple of ways. I say we hug the quote or we sandwich the quote. Okay, so here's an example, and this is shared on Edmodo. You introduce the quote. Here the example, we'll see it's color-coded. The quote's in the middle because you're hugging it, and then you explain it. When we get to our research paper, this will be a real important skill to have, okay? So here we're introducing it. In Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart, the narrator foreshadows the madness of his tale, okay? In the middle is our quote. When he says, "But why will you say that I am mad?" And at the end, we're explaining it. The reader is given a very direct clue to his madness with his capitalized will. The reader fully understands the narrator's madness and anger with his claim after he describes how he heard the beating of the hideous heart. Okay? Story we'll be reading soon. If hugging isn't masculine enough for you, you can make a quotation sandwich. However, this example is from Kermit the Frog, so hopefully that works for you. So you're introducing the quote's in the middle, and you're sandwiching it by explaining it, okay? So that's the requirement for the quotation. Okay, the next requirement is a song, rap, or poem. So you will be describing the definition of your literature term as you write that song, rap, or poem. At the bottom, I give you another example for foreshadowing, okay? I'll explain more tomorrow, but you can use rhyming couplets, say shows, glow, and that usually helps you try to come up with something. Lastly, you're going to need a picture or a visual. That visual should represent the definition of your literature term. So you should be able to kind of recognize what the literature term is just by looking at the picture. There are a few examples on the board for you to check out. Any other questions I can answer tomorrow. Please remember that the narrative is due tomorrow. I will be here after school if you need more time. You will have about 10 minutes at the beginning of class tomorrow to make some last-minute editing and print your paper. Again, remember that you will need to turn in your edit sheet that you got yesterday, the completed grading rubric. So you need to complete those 3 areas so you can show me the evidence of you completing those requirements. Make sure you bring your printed out rough draft and your final copy. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. You can email me if you have any questions in the meantime. Thanks. Bye.